How's it going? What's your name?
My name's Haley.
Haley?
Yes.
Cool. How do you spell that?
Hayley.
Oh, okay. Where are you from originally?
I'm from Portland. Born
Really?
and raised. Yep.
Oh, that's cool. Not too
Yeah.
many.
Nope. There's a lot of outsiders now.
Yeah. But did you grow up with both parents?
I did not actually. I grew up. I kind of raised myself. I raised my little sister as well. My grandmother stepped in when we were a bit older, but yeah, didn't see my dad much growing up. And my mom was kind of a not really. She's kind of a piece of shit, but.
Did they ever get married? I mean, at the beginning, or? Really?
My mom wound up getting married to somebody she met when she was in a halfway house, and we were already with my grandmother at this point.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And your dad? You said what? Did you say he did?
He
In and out.
he was hardly. I think I've met my father maybe 3 or 4 times my whole life, and I'm 30, so yeah.
What happened?
Prison. I mean,
Oh,
didn't want to turn his life around. I mean, he turned his life around, I think, for the better when I was 16, and he called and said that that I had a baby sister, and I was like, yeah, I know, I'm basically raising one, my baby sister, and he's like, no, I'm having another kid, and I was like, okay, well, hope you take care of this one. And so far, from what I've seen on Facebook at least, he has her, but I don't really know.
so you haven't been in contact with just Facebook? With
Yeah,
pictures and
just
stuff?
here and and that's very sporadic, maybe on birthdays, and
Oh.
yeah. I mean, I have a brother that I've never met too, so that's his. So
What about your mom? I mean, is you in contact with her?
no,
Nothing?
no. My mother and I don't quite care for my mother. She's she's a shitty person. She put us on the back burner, me and my sister, and allowed her boyfriend and his middle child. He had 3 children, and the middle son out of the 3, him and his child, they fucking did a whole lot of there's a whole lot of abuse that she just kind of overlooked.
Really?
And yeah,
Oh, man, sorry to
told
hear
me it
about
was
that.
my fault. I should be changing what I do or how I act, and I was fucking like 6, 7.
Sorry to hear about that.
It's okay. I mean,
Well, how was your grandma? Was she pretty cool?
my grandma was like my guardian angel.
Really?
Yeah, I love her to death. She's like really the only person I think in my life, as far as like role model growing up, that I could ever count on or trust or have any faith in. And
Yeah, that's cool,
she was
man.
an amazing human being.
Is she still alive, or?
No, she passed away in 2018.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, your sister, are you still?
My sister now lives with my mother. So, like I said, I basically raised my sister. My grandmother got stage 4 liver cancer when I was about 16, and I had to do the remaining, raising from there. By the time I turned 18, she was okay and stable enough to take back over. My sister feels like because I took off after that and went and did my own thing instead of, sitting and raising a kid that wasn't mine. She said I abandoned her, and so she harbors this like resentment towards me a little bit. Yeah.
Did you graduate high school?
I
Did it?
Yep.
Cool. What did you do after high school?
I went down to Grants Pass actually. I took about a year at Rogue Community College for early childhood education or early childhood development, and then I did some graphic design classes. But I wound up having children instead.
Yeah, there was that.
I had 2 children instead, and kind of did the mom thing,
Right.
and play some school.
Did you get married, or you just had a? You just had a?
I had 2 kids with my boyfriend's dad. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are the kids now?
They're with their dad right now because in 2020 I lost my apartment and was in a really shitty relationship and could not bounce around from motel room to motel room after losing my place in a shitty relationship with my babies. So I sent them to their dads to kind of, yeah, and housing is really fucking difficult to get,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you homeless right now? Or?
I am homeless.
Really?
Yes.
How long have you been homeless?
Honestly, I've been homeless since October, so my story is a little crazy. I don't know if it's I actually had just gotten HUD in October, and I had put it into my apartment, and a bad change of events happened and led it to where I never went home again, and kind of lost it. Not because I did anything, but just because of I was never able to go home again. So.
And I mean, do you plan to get housing or?
I hope to get my housing back.
Or
I mean, I literally had Home Forward, so that's HUD where they pay for
oh, I
every,
see.
yeah. And I had just put it into my apartment, but like I said, some things happened, and I was a witness to something that the person was afraid that I was going to be a liability for, and kind of held me captive, for 78 days actually. So I lost my place. I know that sounds crazy and like fake, but it's not. Like you can look on the, I mean, you can look on the news and stuff like that.
Your kid's father, is he a pretty cool guy?
He's pretty cool. Yeah.
He really takes care of the kids and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, he has 9 boys, so my 2 are his youngest. Yeah.
9 boys?
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, when I was 18, he was 36. So it was a big jump in age.
Oh, yeah.
And so he definitely had his, you know, I don't think he was planning on having more kids, and I definitely wasn't planning on having kids as young as I did, but, you know, here we are.
After your, what do you do after, you know, your high school and your college?
Well, I went down to Grants Pass. I spent about 3 years down there, you know. I had my boys, and they had the same due date, just 1 year apart. Yeah, so I got pregnant around the same couple days, just 1 year apart. It was like crazy. But afterwards, I came back up to Portland and kind of started staying with my grandmother, and that's a whole story too. There is some domestic violence there with their baby dad, and he wound up going to jail. And then my grandmother was going through some stuff, wound up losing her apartment, and so it was another struggle again. Yeah. Yeah.
You got any plans or any goals for the future?
Well, my goal is to just get back into my housing. I actually talked to an officer, or a police officer, about last week, who said that she was going to not because I did anything wrong, but she said that she could help me, you know, with Home Forward again. She knows a couple people, you know, contact, because I literally lost it because I wasn't able to go home. So I was witness to like a murder, and the guy was crazy. He just got actually sentenced in July. I believe it was July, for all of it and stuff like that. But I was on probation for a DUI back in 2019, actually, when I was being held by this person, and so I wound up getting a probation violation. So after he got arrested, I was like, I fucking didn't know what to do, you know. I knew I couldn't go back to my housing with my warrant, and I had to turn myself in, and so I turned myself in, and then knew I didn't have my housing, so I was just like, I didn't, you know, kind of lost, and went back into the homelessness, kind of not really knowing what to fucking do, because this time around it's been really like rough. I've been homeless before, but I always had a car and was able to stay in hotels, and you know, this time it's like I've had to stay in like RVs and a tent, and you know, it is not a good life to live, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, do you, besides getting the housing and stuff, you have any other goals, like go to school or get a job?
Getting a job, yes.
Sure.
So I've applied for a few jobs. I actually have a job interview with, it's like a call center company next week. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I actually have my resume is really good. So before I lost my apartment, well, no, actually, I maintained my job. So I worked for Safeway as the service operations manager from 2015 to 2021. And there's some, you know, I took a leave of absence, and then there's some trauma there, and they wound up like letting people go. Or 2020 was COVID, I believe, time. Yeah. And because of the whole COVID thing, but that was rough, because I worked my way up from like the, you know, checker to a PIC to the SOM, and then that was I made really good money there, and so but I know that I'm not going to just jump back into managing management type of, shit. I'm just gonna take whatever I can get. Yeah.
That's cool, man. That sounds like a good plan.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, do you have any advice or any quotes you want to give anybody?
As far as quotes go, no, but don't lose hope. Addiction is it's a struggle, and I know that most of you can't see a light at the end of the tunnel, but there is one. I know because I've gone clean before, and I maintained it for 6 years or so before something led me to relapse. And my relapse was actually on alcohol, and but you can do it again. They say relapse is a part of recovery, but I don't think that's necessarily true either. But and NA, not big on NA, but if that works for you, have something, that have a support system. That's always good to have. I know some people though don't have a lot of people to, they don't have like family or whatever, but with NA you have your sponsors and stuff like that, so you always have somebody to call. Just don't give up.